Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul.
They're gonna run out of cheeseheads soon.
The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. The Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, the Funk Soul Brother. Right about now, about now, about now, about now.
What is poppin', y'all? It is your man Cloudboy Bills. This is my third video that I have made today. I have been very busy. This has been a very great day to be a Milwaukee native. First, the Brewers, well, they win the division. That was great yesterday. Now I gotta wait until playoffs. And then, I'm not even thinking about the Bucks. Everything that happened last year was so great up until what happened in the postseason. And it is just, it was heartbreaking to see us be the 1 seed, have the best overall record, and lose to the 8th seed. And it just, to Miami. It was heartbreaking just to see all that. Now, I get Miami made the finals, so now I don't feel as bad, but it was unfortunate. And I think that move, scared a lot of people. And I was starting to believe that the wall was closing. And, I was thinking, oh, man, it's either do or die for this Bucks organization. Because if we don't do anything in maybe the next year or two with any championships or trying to go on runs, because, I was very confident that Giannis was going to leave. And he was even saying it the last couple of weeks, that was the talk. He was saying, I'm not going to be here if I'm not on a championship contending team. And I was actually going to make a video talking about, do we need to worry about this? And I'm sitting there like, why? You know what? I can't stand that. They keep giving these roster spots to his brothers who honestly aren't even that good at basketball. And it's when we could really receive talent. The thing is, these guys are getting much older. Nobody's the same. We re-signed Middleton. We re-signed Brook Lopez. We re-signed Jay Crowder. They also signed Malik Beasley, another veteran. It was okay, they're doing things, but is this actually going to bring us back to this level? And the thing that I was noticing is I was thinking, you know what? I was Damien Lillard. That was the talk, that I was talking with people. I said, boy, imagine if the Bucks had Damien Lillard. Lillard and Giannis teamed up on the same team. I can't imagine, what that would be. And, the thing is, I'm yeah, if we did that, we'd probably have to give up Drew Holiday or Chris Middleton. And honestly, I don't know which one would be more, of a value. And when you think about it, you re-sign Chris Middleton. And then Drew Holiday, he said, I want to be a Buck for life. He even said this yesterday. I want to be a Buck for life. And honestly, because I think he only had 1 or 2 years left on his deal or something like that. I think it was 1 year and an opt-in or something like that. And he said he wanted to retire as a Buck. Now, I guess that unfortunately won't happen, and I'll get to that later. But it's unfortunate. He literally said that yesterday. I'm guessing he probably knew of this happening. But all this talk was that Damian Lillard was going to be a Miami Heat or the Toronto Raptors or even the Chicago Bulls. And I don't think the Bucks were even a name that people even had in mind. I don't think, when the Celtics traded for Porzingis, I don't think anyone had the Celtics in mind. They made that move. What are the Bucks going to do to correspond? They did that. We traded for Damian Lillard. And it took a 3-team deal to make this happen because I knew that there was going to be some things that, that it's just crazy. So anyways, this is not just the Bucks getting Damian Lillard. This is a big, big trade. Probably one of the biggest trades in this entire offseason. obviously there was all this talk, Damian Lillard not wanting to be in Portland anymore, wanting to be traded. The Bucks obviously having a struggling, performance and choking in the playoffs. They got a new coach. They wanted a new system. What are they going to do? And we got Damian Lillard. The Bucks received Damian Lillard. Now, here's obviously what we had to trade for because, so the Trailblazers, obviously we got, and the Suns obviously also got involved in this trade. So the Trailblazers, so let's talk about it. The Bucks, they received Damian Lillard. I give that one a B+. I think you're not going to sit there and say A because, first off, the only issue I have with it is Damian Lillard is already in his 30s. He's been in the league for quite some time. And yes, unlike Drew Holiday, he does not play the greatest defense. But yet again, he's an athletic player, averages 30 points a game and shoots the lights out. And it's actually, it's great. You got a guy that, when everything happens, the ball always went into Giannis's hands. We finally got a guy that can actually create the play and take that shot. We've seen him do it in the playoffs. Damian Lillard was so clutch, and I agree. The Trailblazers, they'll receive Drew Holiday, and I'm sad because you know what? Drew has done so much for this organization, and he is just such a great guy. I'm gonna miss him, and whatever happens in the future, honestly, that whatever happens. My assumption is because the Trailblazers are rebuilding, and they obviously are going to rebuild around second-round pick Scoot Henderson. I'm assuming, and Anthony Simons, I'm assuming Drew Holiday's use there doesn't really have any. So my assumption is he will be bought out or traded somewhere else. That's my thought. So I'm not going to say Drew Holiday will be a Trailblazer. Trailblazers also received DeAndre Ayton from the Suns. That's a great deal. He's a very underrated center, has a lot to prove. They also received Toumani Camara. I've never even heard of who that is. They also have a 2029 unprotected first-round pick from Milwaukee, so that's ways away. And then the Milwaukee swaps rights in 2028 and 2030 with the Trailblazers. So that's nice. The Suns, on the other hand, they received some players. So, of course, the Suns are going to get Jusuf Nurkic, who was the starting center on the Portland Trailblazers, so Ayton and Nurkic basically switched spots. The Suns also get Grayson Allen. Obviously, we had to give up another player. That is the other player that we gave up, Grayson Allen. Suns also received Nasir Little and Keon Johnson, were the other two names that were in that trade. Obviously, that it is what it is. I think when getting the pursuit of a championship was needed because the thing was, I was noticing that Giannis was doing single-handedly everything, and they didn't have one person literally get them through the postseason. Drew Holiday was supposed to be that guy, and he was an upgrade from Eric Bledsoe at the time, but I remember watching him in the playoffs. He was good at defense, but he just wasn't reliable offensively. He couldn't do anything, and seeing him try to play against Jimmy Butler was just purely, he couldn't do it. It was purely his day. And Trailblazers are working on their new era with Scoot and I guess getting Ayton, and they re-signing Jermani Grant. Yeah, Portland's getting themselves in a good situation. The Suns are already contenders because they traded for Bradley Beal, so now they got Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. That's just gonna be too hard to handle for anybody. But Lillard as a point guard, you just got the guy that can create these game-ending plays. He can shoot the lights out. He's just an unreal player. And I am so excited to have these two, Giannis and Lillard, on the same team. Starting lineup, likely, I don't know what they'll exactly do. Obviously, the spot really remains who will be the shooting guard. That is the real question. Brooks your center. Giannis is at power forward or small forward, depending on what they do. Damian Lillard's at point guard. Chris Middleton's basically your small forward. Now, if I were the Bucks, what I would do is I move Chris Middleton to the 3, and I'd start Jay Crowder. That's what I would do. Now, obviously, there's lots of options. They could start, obviously, they could have Crowder come off the bench. I think, some people are like, why Portis should start, but I'm like, nah, I just feel like having him start in a game would just be too much because you got 3 bigs starting. I just wouldn't be right. Portis comes off the bench. Yeah, Connaughton comes off the bench. Beasley comes off the bench. Maybe a backup point guard who really shines in camp comes off the bench. There's some things that they're going to do, and I'm excited. I think this also is the year where Marjon Beauchamp breaks out and really becomes a huge playmaking person. I don't know. He could be that guy, but I feel like to be smart, start Crowder since he has that value as a starter. Small forward or power forward, I don't know what they'll put him at, but yeah, I'm just excited. As a Bucks fan, I am excited. With this move, the Bucks are now the title favorites, and just like that, I'm ready. I am ready for this. This is going to be... I'm ready. We are 1 month away. We are just under 1 month away from the Milwaukee Bucks this season, and I can't be nothing but excited for what's going to come. All right. Well, anyways, if you like what you see, subscribe below, comment with your thoughts, and as always, we will see you next time.